Pleasure to meet you. I'm Luke Adams, and this is the story of William Shakespeare. It is one that is full of mysteries. Who exactly was William Shakespeare? What were all the stages of his life like? And how did one man make such an impact on modern literature? Come, take a journey with me as we explore William Shakespeare.
The first records of William Shakespeare are for his baptism, which took place on April 26, 1564, in Stratford-upon-Avon, England. His exact birthday is not known. However, many scholars do believe, because it was customary to have a child baptized 3 days after birth, that Shakespeare was born on April 23rd.
Very little is known about Shakespeare's childhood. He most likely attended King's New School. That cannot be proven. There are no official records of him having a formal education, so this creates controversy on whether he really wrote these plays.
When Shakespeare was 18, he married the 26-year-old Anne Hathaway on November 28, 1582. They were married in Worcester, England, and came from a family of farmers.
As I indulge more and more in Shakespeare's literary work, a question begins to surface. Shakespeare's first child, Susanna, was born on May 26, 1583. 2 years later, on February 2nd, 1585, Anne gave birth to two twins, Hamnet and Judith. Sadly, Hamnet died when he was 11. Judith was excommunicated and prosecuted for being lesbian. Susanna, who was the only child who had a happy ending, went on to marry a wealthy physician.
Shakespeare moved away from his family to pursue acting and playwriting. He started making a living as an actor and playwright in 1592. The 14 years before 1592, there are no records of William Shakespeare, which is referred to by historians as the lost years. He began working as a managing partner of Lord Chamberlain's Men Acting Company.
By 1597, 15 of Shakespeare's plays were published. Most of his earliest plays were histories about weak and corrupt rulers, including Richard II and Henry VI. With the money he earned from those plays, he built the Globe Theatre in 1599. Comedians like A Midsummer Night Dream and Twelfth Night were written next. These plays typically focus on two opposing social groups.
After 1600, Shakespeare began writing tragedies about the betrayal, incest, and moral failure that would often drive the plot twist. Examples of tragedies are Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Othello, and Macbeth.
Oh, didn't see you there. Finally, Shakespeare ended his career with romances. Many of them were based on pre-existing stories, and even the happy endings are somewhat depressing. Some of the romances include Winter Tale and The Tempest.
With plays like these, Shakespeare influenced many authors such as poet John Keats and playwright George Bernard Shaw. There are a countless number of movies based off of Shakespeare's plays, such as Lion King, which is based off of Hamlet, and 100 Acres, which is based off of King Lear. Also, there are many novels and modern adaptations of Shakespeare's works.
Didn't see you there. Shakespeare has also influenced the English language in general in what is taught in English class. He wrote an iambic pentameter, which resembles a heartbeat. This made the stories feel more relatable and sound more poetic. This added to the success of the plays and the long-lasting impacts. Shakespeare's plays are part of a common core in most 11th and 12th grade English classrooms. He invented many words like swagger, champion, eyeball, and torture.
Shakespeare died on April 23rd, 1616, and left behind a great legacy of literature that will surely continue far into the future.
Jacob Schneider, cameraman.
Kensington Spears, screenwriter.
Sarah Kent, producer and narrator.
Luke Adams, narrator and art director.
Lindy Parr, director. I tried to match her.